I'm McG, and we're here at the pool of Newport Harbor High School. I went to Corona Del Mar High School, and all the sort of cooler, more edgy kids went to Newport Harbor High School, and there was this sort of big rivalry between, you know, the Sailors and the Sea Kings, and a lot of you guys went to Harbor. And Harbor was always a little bit groovier, but I think that probably goes for both sides of the bay. Like, if you go to Harbor, you think Corona's cooler, and if you go to Corona, you think Harbor's cooler? No? Harbor's cooler?
Definitely.
Really?
Yes, by far.
Oh, wow, all right, so that's new. You know, when I was in high school, I was a tiny little weasel. I literally graduated high school. I was 5 feet tall, I had an orange afro, braces, I wore like dolphins, I was a complete moron. And, you know, like all the water polo guys would wear the Adidas sandals with no socks, and they had really good bodies, and like all the girls sort of dug it. I look like you, man. Did you play water polo in high school?
I played water polo in high school.
I figured, yeah. All right, were you a lifeguard too?
I was.
Yeah, there you go. What I want to do is just talk to you guys and talk to you largely about a question I get a lot of. What do you find the biggest differences between your experience of living in Orange County and what you see on the television show?
I watch O.C. and I see a lot of stuff that I actually have seen and still see and saw while I was in Newport Beach, living here my whole life. The one thing that everyone likes to bring up is the party where everyone's wearing bikinis. And every girl, like, I've never worn a bikini at a party all the time. I have personally been to a party where the girls were wearing bikinis at night. It was it's a pool party. It happened.
Tuck it in here.
She was one of the girls. She was there, right?
Okay.
Welcome to the dark side.
You feel like the dating habits of the kids on the show sort of accurately portray? Like if you look at, you know, Seth and Summer or Ryan and Marissa and what they're going through on the show, do you feel like that's like fairly accurate of what's going on and, you know, at Corona Del Mar High School, at Newport Harbor High School?
You really don't date. Either you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you just are randomly hooking up with people.
In the show, one thing that I do find accurate is you don't see them going to like dinner and movie dates, because it just didn't happen in Newport. There was no formal dating. There was no like courtship. It was just kind of like, you know, you go to parties, and some of the parties are like, just like in the show, it's like the parents' dinner party, and everyone, you know, and the kids get into the wine, and they're, you know, off in the back, and then they hook up. It's almost like an excuse, like get drunk and hook up. It's like the Newport house party thing to do.
That wasn't my high school experience. But I had sex one time in high school. I had sex one time in high school with a girl who thought I was Anthony Michael Hall. You think people grow up fast here? Tighten up, you guys. Get involved in this conversation. What the hell's wrong with you? You think people grow up fast here as opposed to other places?
People are coming from parents of like very high influence, and they own companies, and they're high fashion a lot of the time, stuff like that, and they're exposed to a lot more, and you get introduced to a lot of stuff that you wouldn't even see in other places.
Yeah, I mean, so that's interesting, because I mean, I remember like when I was going to high school, there were a couple kids who literally on their 16th birthday, you know, got like a new BMW or like a crazy new SUV, and you see that a lot, and I don't think you see that in a lot of other communities, and that's something that's sort of, you know, Orange County, but in particular Newport Beach.
Come on!
When like a kid would come from out of town, like the Ryan character on the show, you know, like he's from Chino, but he's kind of a charismatic, cool dude. How do you find those kids fit in? Let's talk about it from both your perspectives.
A lot of times it does, it's as sad as it is, it does depend where they come from. You know, if they're moving here, moving from Newport from another beach community or like somewhere, but if they're coming from Riverside County, Chino, anything like that.
So there's a 909
right away,
component.
yeah, there's the definite rivalry there almost between the 909 inland area, Riverside County, and just the coastal parts.
How about from a girl's point of view, you know, if like a new girl shows up? Are the girls tough on new girls?
Oh,
yes.
It's so much harder on girls.
Girls, we're cliquey, we're bitchy, we're really not that accepting. If she's a cute one, the guys will start to, you know, hang out with her and we'll be like, who's this girl, you know, trying to take our guys.
But we've had a lot of people move here from Riverside, and they do get a chance eventually. They might get harassed a little bit at first, but if they are nice, charismatic people, like you said, they end up fitting in. People figure it out real quick.
This is supposed to be a community that welcomes outsiders. I mean, me, I'm all the way from the Bronx, and you're from what, Riverside, right? Which is not that different, really, from where Ryan's from. Excuse me a minute.
So let's talk about this whole phrasing of the O.C. Do you know anybody who's ever referred to Orange County as the O.C.?
I've heard O.C. before, but never the O.C.
How about you guys?
That's like
No.
No.
So no one says the O.C.
No.
Newport.
So why did you call it?
Josh, I told you 1,000 times over, no one from Newport calls it the O.C. You're from Providence, Rhode Island, Josh. You called it the O.C., but I gotta give you credit. It's now become sort of a contemporary culture colloquialism, so well done, Josh.